dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seeming. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming.
We gonna find out. Oh, and we back. Academates, peace and love. Salute to you. How y'all doing, man? Welcome back to the channel. Oh yeah, we back. I've been a little under the weather, but we gonna get there. You know what I'm talking about? I got some juice today, so we gonna work. We just gonna work. But we gonna get back to the voguing and well, let's just say the SCP universe soon. We staff and I, we're working on some things to bring some more light to that and to help everybody out as we move along with the universe, right? But today we're gonna check out the History Channel. We're gonna get to some of those UAP sightings and classified UFO videos stunned the public, unexplained this late, I guess. But yeah, we gonna check it out. I hope everybody's been good out there, man. I hope the world's been treating you fairly. I hope you've been staying in the green, of course. You know what I mean? With or without me, you must stay in the green if you're trying to survive the times. Which, if you are in the times, congratulations, because they're as bad as it's looking right now, it's gonna get better. It's getting better because this is the process, right? But if you are here right now today, congratulations, you know what I'm saying? Because there will never be a time like this again. When this is over, it's over. Like, and I'm not talking about the end all be all of time and all of that. It's just all of this crazy madness that we've witnessed over the past several decades, and all the lies and the deceit and everything that we've went through. You know what I mean? Especially the children. I mean, we as adults, we eventually get old enough to make that decision for ourselves on our own. But when we decide to allow these children to do the things that they're doing, we consent to it, or we perpetuate cognitive dissonance, whatever the case may be. We've allowed basically wicked people to get their hands on children. 460,000 in America a year missing and stuff like that, right? And now they got leaked footage of aliens that we all knew was out there. I mean, damn, we see this stuff all the time. But they shun us and they make us seem like we're cuckoo, and we know what we see, man, and we know what comes to us. Everybody don't get visions. They don't come to everybody. Everybody's not on that frequency, on that vibration, to where some entities trust them, want to come to them. But when you sit back in the distance and you look at the human overall, and you see the history in the war after war after war after war, think to yourself, as a species, would you want to come down and deal with some ruthless, I guess you could call them animals, you know what I mean? Like, would you really want to deal with them? Hey, it's rough, all right? So we're going to check out these giants right here. We're going to see what they're talking about. We're going to see what stuns that public. We're going to see what's classified, what's leaked, what they're going to lie about, what they're going to what truths they're going to kind of bend, because it's the age of Aquarius. So regardless of what truth they bend today, eventually you'll get the whole picture. The whole picture will get relayed to you, if you stick around, that is. But in the meantime, in the between time, Academates, it is good to see y'all. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I really do appreciate that. So without further ado, I hope you got what it is that you need, because I do. So let's get to what it is that we do. Bustin'. Oh, this is the History Channel.
December 16th, 2017. The New York Times publishes an article that reveals the existence of a top-secret military program known as ATIP.
Oh, yeah?
The Advanced Aerospace Identification Program. Its purpose? To identify and investigate UFOs.
Congress was informed about ATIP. in a letter dated January 2018, and the Defense Intelligence Agency wrote to Congress and said the ATIP program was designed to look at far-term aviation threats to the United States out to maybe 40 years into the future.
Oh, yeah?
From Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, secret prototype aircraft, missiles, and drones. But there was an attachment to the letter and said, please find attached a list of all the products produced under the ATIP contract. Anti-gravity, invisibility, warp drive, wormholes, stargates. And when I looked at this list, it was astounding.
In the weeks that
You
followed,
think? Okay, so all of those things in which you cannot say you haven't seen, can't say you don't know. I'm talking to the people, I'm talking to you. You can't say you don't know. You've seen this stuff before. Come on now, buddy. You watch movies, don't you? Don't you watch TV series? I mean, we all know about Sigourney Weaver and the Xenomorph, right? What about the Predator? We've seen the crafts. It's extremely detailed for this to be in your imagination. Just in your imagination. We don't think so, bro. You just said Stargates. Hyperdrive. Y'all been talking about this stuff since Star Trek and Star Wars and I mean, hey, they got crazy with the information back in the day in the classics. Like, y'all should really go back and check out some of the black and whites. I'm serious. The movies, they boring, duh, the graphics suck. But the information is definitely there. Today, it's more CGI, yes, but they're bringing more truth to what they actually saw, because now they can actually computer generate the idea of what's in their head. They can really make that and to make you see, to help you, allow you to see what they actually saw versus just spark here, spark there, fake explosion. But now they can really go in with the CGI to show you this is what it looks like, right? So yeah, just start thinking about movies. Go back and watch them again. Do some cross-referencing. That's what I do. Probably why they give me a hard time. You know what I mean? Because I'm actually putting the pieces together. I may be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm right about each and everything that I say, but I'm just like my mind. I'm a free thinker. So I'm thinking, like, hold on, where have I saw this before? Or where have I heard this? Dude just called out a whole list of things that, yeah, profound, astounding, yes, amazing. We would think it was not possible, but you've seen it because they showed you in the movies. And basically everything they show you there is a concept here. As above, so below. As within, so without. So you go within, you can sow it out. Let's go.
A number of previously classified videos are leaked to the public. Among them is footage of an encounter that took place in 2004 between a squadron of fighter jets and an unidentified flying craft that appears to be not of this world.
Not of this world.
Whatever this thing is in this video, it goes from a couple hundred miles per hour to thousands of miles per hour like that. That's the equivalent of...
Hey, that's the Skinwalker Ranch dude right there. Yeah, I watched that joint too, man. We might have to check that out too, because he discovered it's an alien spaceship or base or something on the Skinwalker Ranch, and that's why all the crazy stuff be happening out there. So, yeah, we may spin the block with Mr. Travis Taylor here and see what Travis got, and if he... I don't know, man. Did they ever make the... I don't know if they made the second series to that joint, but he probably got to that and they were like, cut that, nope, because, no, we're not ready to reveal that just yet. And you liable to go down there and not come back, Mr. Taylor, so hold up for a second. But yeah, I'm gonna look around. Staff, can we? Okay, yeah.
Of going many hundreds of miles per hour and hitting a brick wall. So what would that do? It would turn your brain to mush. It would turn your body to jello. I mean, it would kill you instantly. So there's a technology in there that would protect a biological thing. If it's a biological thing in there, we don't have that type of technology yet.
We now know much.
Yeah, we do. But not to that extent. And the reason why I say not to that extent is because the ones that gave it to you ain't finna give you something that you can wheel and deal like that on them. Nah, that wouldn't be smart. Especially seeing everything you do, you weaponize. So, I mean, if I was, you know what I mean, I would be skeptic as to what I actually gave you. I just got to be real. I would really be skeptic as to what I gave you. I would be very cautious. If I actually had to give you anything, I would be really cautious as to what I gave you to make sure, even if you weaponized it, you couldn't do much damage. You couldn't do that much harm, Nagasaki, Hiroshima type of damage to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would, but, whew, hey.
More about the ATIP program and indeed government UFO investigations more generally than we knew a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So we have pilots who are involved in these incidents. We have radar operators. We have former intelligence officers who handled this, all going public, going on the record and saying this is real.
Is the footage proof that UFOs not only exist, but that they employ technology that far surpasses our own? It's certainly a far-fetched notion, but according to one man who was there, the answer is yes. On the day of the incident, Petty Officer P.J. Hughes was stationed on the nearby USS Nimitz, the aircraft carrier from which the fighters were launched. His job was to facilitate the storage of radar data by an E-2C Hawkeye aircraft that was in the air at the same time that the fighter jets encountered the UFO.
The easiest way to explain what an E-2C Hawkeye is by saying it's the quarterback of the air wing. It's got a bunch of sensors, it's got a bunch of communications equipment. We were doing some testing, and before that exercise was actually able to start, the object actually came up, so everybody got a good look at it, and then it just took off. I wasn't in the plane, so the information I'm getting is secondhand from the multitude of sources who've seen it.
Oh my gosh, dude. Wow,
It's a giant white cylindrical object, roughly 48 feet, 49 feet, somewhere in there. No windows, no engines, no flight control surfaces. A smooth object, basically. Just looked like.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta get a charger for my thing. But yo, this thing right here, speaking of which, it flew right over my house a couple months back, right? I had some company come over, and we were discussing some of these anomalies and alien structures and ships that be in the sky late at night that I could see at high altitude, and they're just moving through the sky. I mean, if you're not really still, you won't see them moving. They look like stars, like they blend in and they look just like stars. But I was told they were something else. But anyway, so we were discussing that, and we walk outside as I'm walking them out, and this thing flies directly right over my house. Like, I mean, right over my house. Low altitude, wasn't making a sound, like not one sound in an airplane come flying right over my house, because I live in the line of the airplane's landing. So every hour, damn near every hour and a half, 2 hours, I get a plane flying over my house. So it's automatic. Where it was, you would have heard it. This thing, no sound. And everybody was just standing there looking at it. Now, my goofy ass friend, holding the camera up, thought he was recording it, but he wasn't. I left my phone in here because I was actually getting ready to record a video. So my phone was set up. So I left it in here, we went out there, and then that's when we saw this thing. It looked just like that. just like it. But it was silent, like, shh, couldn't hear nothing. And a plane flew right over, like it went this direction and faded off into the distance, and then the plane came right over, and it's like, you hear that? It's just loud for no reason, right? But this thing's, and it really was, I mean, it was moving, but it wasn't moving that fast. You know what I mean? So, but regardless, I've had some of the smallest planes flying overhead, and then some of the big boy jets flying high altitude, and I still heard them. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section. What do y'all think about what I just told you about what I seen? What do you think that was? It looked like this, but what do y'all think this is? Because I've heard some things. I'm curious to know what y'all think about it. I've heard about this thing, and I've actually heard what beings are actually in that machine. But I'm curious to know what y'all think about it.
Like a white Tic Tac, no visible means of propulsion, but be able to go from full blast to zero in time we can't measure. When that Hawkeye left, it was recording. When it came back, the recording was stopped. I took the bricks. There are classified hard drives that basically record everything I saw. Went down, put them in our safe. 20 minutes after I locked them in that safe, my executive officer shows up at my door with 2 uniformed Air Force officers. And he asked me for all the hard drives that were in that Hawkeye that were flying. Because normally we'd sign them out in a logbook saying, you know, XO took these serial numbers. And as I started to write,
right,
don't do it. So I hand them over, and away they went, and I never knew what happened to them.
See? Now, I'm gonna say this. This is why when I heard that guy, I don't know what hearing is. Maybe we'll hear it again. I don't know what it was. But anyways, I heard the dude say, we don't want to be held responsible for this. You don't want to be held responsible for withholding information from the people. And he just told that story. That's why you're responsible. Because you told him, don't write that down. Give us that. And basically NDA your ass away. Basically. And we're going to take care of this. And don't worry about it. It's cool. Okay, so my question is this. So you hide all the evidence of what clearly we know is out there. So what if these things just came and just started all types of, you know what I mean? You feel me? And some more of that. You feel me? Just, it's crazy. And then we get all types of stuff like that just blowing up all over the place. What do we do? What do we do with that? What do we do? What do we do? What do you do? What do you do? Do you say, we're sorry? You think that's going to cut it when they just come through and Independence Day everybody and you knew about it? Like, you think that's going to cut it? You think somebody's going to listen to your apology then when they damn near wiped out the world? You think anybody's going to want to hear an apology then? When you have the opportunity now to come forth, come clean, and stop doing the stuff that you're doing now, because even in the hearings, they're putting people up to speak for this stuff that still don't have authority to speak fully. You're responsible. My opinion, you're responsible.
2020, the Pentagon officially released the 3 now famous A-tip pictures. By doing so, they acknowledged that the UFOs depicted were genuinely of unknown origin, although they stopped short of admitting they might also be extraterrestrial.
The fact that the government wants to know more about things that we encounter in the sky and that the pilots see, there's something to it. The universe is way too big for us to be alone. There's something else out there.
The Uinta Basin, Utah. Tucked away in the shadow of a rocky plateau is a 512-acre property that is famous for having a long history of eerie UFO sightings. This mysterious place is known as Skinwalker Ranch.
There it is.
Skinwalker Ranch may look like any other ranch on the surface. When you get to the ranch, you realize that just below the surface lies one of the strangest and most unexplainable places in the world.
I think Brody got sick
is
right
a
there.
hotspot of many reported phenomena, such as a large number of UFO sightings, along with a lot of strange energies, cattle mutilations, and all kinds of unexplainable phenomena.
Going down. It's going down out there.
Reported unusual atmospheric phenomenon and UFOs, or what we call UAPs today, but also so-called orbs, balls of light moving around on the property or in the sky.
That's what I'm talking about. The orbs. That's what I see in my skies. Like, I don't know what everybody's seeing in their skies, because I heard some people up north, they don't even see stars, which, from my understanding, are really planets and galaxies. Just from a distance, they look like stars. I don't know how true that is. I'm looking into it. You know what I mean? It makes more sense to me that those would be more. Not saying stars don't exist, but I think planets and galaxies and stuff like that makes a lot more sense to me. Especially if one can believe that Orion's belt is Sirius A, B, and all of that. You know what I mean? Sirius and all of that is up there. So, and from what I understand, these are planets that you can see from Earth, but from here they look like stars, right? So who was to say what's the star and what's an actual planet that you can see in your skies? But anyway, if you up north, is that true? That in certain places, not everywhere, but in certain places that y'all can't see stars? Like they keep it cloudy or something, like y'all just can't see them. I mean, because I was in London for a while. I don't recall seeing stars in London at all. It was melancholy as hell in the sky. I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it is possible, very possible, especially when they doing all the, they doing the extra. So, but yeah, y'all let me know in the comment section if you live up north. You know what I'm saying, in the Americas. Who can't see stars? What do you think that's all about? You know what I mean? The reason why you can't see stars at night, right?
Really just a lot of strange things that affect human beings viscerally. This has been going on for quite some time. So there must be something unseen that makes this a very special place.
But it was scary, bro.
The lore associated
He was acting scary, though.
goes
No, that ain't
at
him.
least as
Hold on.
far
What a scary dude
as
at? I hope
the
they show
American
him.
tradition of the skinwalker from which the ranch receives its name.
The story is told that back in the early 1800s, the Navajo
Look at that
shaman
motherfucker, that's the
cursed
Mongoloid.
this particular piece of ground with the curse of the skinwalker.
Hey man, that ain't no real American Indian right there. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. That is a Mongol. You know what I'm talking about? Them boys came from over there in Asia and Siberia and shit. You know what I'm saying? They from what the history. When you dig deep enough, they call them out. Yeah, man, it's like they was part. I think they were slaves or something like that, and they, you know what I'm saying, they came from over the water. That's why they put them on the reservations like that. They really slaves from another place. Asiatic. That's why they look like Mexicans and got that Asian look in their face and stuff. No, they ain't. They're not us. Not us at all. So, and that's another misleading misnomer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're talking about, busting these lies down. Because niggas out there lying. You're lying about a lot of stuff, and you done bamboozled a lot of people. And it don't matter what creed, color, race, gender, ethnicity. I don't give a damn about none of it. When it comes down to truth, people, we have been lied to about a lot of stuff. And a lot of people that fed into it and have lived certain lives so long that today, they really think they the people. But that ain't what history telling us. Stay tuned.
And the skinwalker
That's gonna get deep.
is this
Oh, Trump already talking about
being
it.
that can take on the form of
Sir,
many
they don't look like Indians to me.
that of a man. We have stories of this skinwalker traversing Skinwalker Ridge, which runs the entire east-west length of the ranch.
For more than a century, local indigenous tribes have firmly believed that Skinwalker Ranch is cursed by a shape-shifting creature. And in modern times, many people consider the property to be a UFO hotspot. The ranch attracted so much attention that in 1996, billionaire aerospace tycoon and UFO enthusiast Robert Bigelow bought the ranch to try and solve the long-standing mystery of this remote location.
Yeah, how'd that go?
After the ranch was sold to Robert Bigelow, he created the institution known as NIDS, the National Institute for Discovery Science. He hired some very excellent scientists for the purpose of setting up a genuinely scientific investigation of the phenomena that were happening there.
Robert Bigelow was able to, in fact, record a lot of UFO activity of all kinds. However, they were never able to discover the mechanism behind this or what is truly going on at Skinwalker Ranch.
No. Let me say this for all y'all out there seeking information. And I don't think, well, okay, I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna go too far with it, great mother. But I'm gonna say this. Most people go into things with the best intentions, and those intentions end up getting turned, coerced, swayed, persuaded, you know what I mean, to a different means. And then you have those that go in with the weaponizing malicious intents, rule, control, power, right? Those that's in the latter, I mean, and I'm not judging, I'm not saying that he did it, or he was doing this, but some people, or most people that's going in for this, they don't have the best intentions in their heart. So it's like, what I'm really trying to say is be genuine when you're really looking for this information. Like, don't have an agenda other than wanting to know just the truth. What they say about the truth, it sets you free, right? So, like, me wanting to know the truth, I don't want to know the truth so I can hang it over your head unless you've been hanging things over my head that's not true. Then, yeah, we're going to gloat when we find that truth, and we going all in your face because you shouldn't have played the game, because the games that you played, lives were lost behind it, especially when we're talking about stuff like this, right? So I tend to take this shit personal. But genuine in my heart to where I just want to know, bro, like, damn all why you did it. Let's just get to what it is that I'm seeing up here. And why am I seeing it? Why isn't it coming down closer? What more do you have? What more do you know? Perhaps we can help, or perhaps we should be on defense. But the way you stringing people along, it's like you want somebody to get fucked up by something out here. And it's like, damn. You evil, you evil. You just, I don't get it. But I'm not saying Robert Bigelow, that was his intentions, is to be a power move or whatnot. And like I said, some people be just like genuinely interested in the field of work. They want to know, they got some money. Let me put it up. Let's see what we can find, right? And then when they find something, you get the other guys, they come, where is it? And you already know what that is. You feel? Oh. And you out of there, boy. Thumping. You know what I'm talking about? And you're out of there. So, well, And that's where we're stuck. Because these people do be knowing stuff. And now they got to sign NDAs, or like the dude that seen the giant in the background, now he's missing or supposed to he unalived himself or something like that, and it was obvious that y'all got rid of him, or the dude that was dealing with the siren out there at the port, all of a sudden he's in a car accident after the forensics and everybody show up at the boat and start checking stuff out. Come on, man, it's obvious what happened. That's obvious. So y'all want us to see this stuff, and then you want us to see you doing and moving the way that you're moving. Is it scare tactics or something? Because the more you do it, the more you say we're hiding something, and the more you're gonna make people curious to where the whole world's gonna say, "F y'all, we're coming." Then what you gonna do? Y'all ain't gonna have no choice but to start pulling out your little phaser guns and all your little spaceships, and your whole plan is ruined. Why? Because people started rushing every place that we knew that you were. You know what I'm talking about? Like, when you thought you was hiding, yeah, we had some people actually watching and saw you going underground. So yeah, all of a sudden you getting stormed. Ain't no telling. Or maybe the aliens might get tired of it and they may just start popping out in the sky. Just bloop, bloop, bloop. Clone technology. Talk to him. What was he doing to you? Clone. What was that Note movie saying? They was cloned as clouds in the skies. Did y'all check out the short with the fire in the sky? Have y'all seen that yet? Go check my short out. And shout out to Kalai. Because the brother just dropped some science about how the whole skies are supposed to look like the aurora borealis. We supposed to see all the colors of the skies, all the radiations that the sun and the frequencies that the sun is emitting. We're supposed to always see that in the skies like a river, right? So that's possibly what I was seeing that day. And it just broke through that early that AM, right? You know what I mean? So I believe that's probably what I was seeing. But if you go look at the video, it looked like the sky was on fire. You know what I'm talking about? There you go.
Robert Bigelow sold Skinwalker Ranch, effectively ending his UFO investigation there. The property was purchased by real estate mogul Brandon, who assembled a team of scientists and investigators.
Oh, that was scary.
Last several years, conducting the most comprehensive investigation
y'all seen
Skinwalker Ranch in history.
Our team has demonstrated an unequal dedication to finding the truth
He was
at
with
Skinwalker Ranch.
He was with it.
Up here.
Oh, him. There you go. He's scary.
We may be
Buddy was so nervous, he didn't want to do nothing.
work of our time.
Oh.
We are looking for the nature of the universe. And I truly believe that Skinwalker Ranch is
He like security or something.
some of these questions,
Or like the sheriff or around there or
or at
something.
least better
Not
understand.
police though, but over the ranch.
I'm
I
a
think
scientist who is
security
looking
guard.
at the question of what are the UAPs and UFOs, and are we alone in the universe?
Man, y'all.
There's so many different phenomena that happen at Skinwalker Ranch, and we have physical evidence of these phenomena existing with actual, real scientific equipment.
Whereas the previous researchers were dependent upon VHS technology for recording things in time-lapse format, we're taking full high-definition video using a combination of what are called bullet cameras, PTZ or pan-tilt-zoom cameras that allow us to look around and zoom in on features of interest to discern between the mundane and the exceptional.
Hold on, folks.
Kingman, Arizona, May 21st, 1953. Kingman, Arizona.
And on feature pan-tilt using a combination of what are called bullet cameras, PTZ or pan-tilt-zoom cameras that allow us to look around and zoom in on features of interest to discern between the mundane and the exceptional.
Kingman,
I mean, I see them all
May
the time,
21st,
y'all, on the
1953.
regular. Like 2 and 3 of them at a time sometimes.
Slams into a hill 8 miles northeast of the Kingman Airport. Within moments, the United States military springs into action. This time, they won't repeat the mistake they made at Roswell of letting the public find out about it.
The Army descends on that hill, locks it down. Onlookers are trying to climb the hill to see it. Nope, can't see it. The Army puts up a tent, but it invites different scientists to come out and kind of examine it.
It's like, bro, we saw it. You talk about, we saw it in the sky. Man, I don't want to hear that, bro. What y'all got going on? Cause it's gonna blow the hat off all this religious bull, this dogma, bro. It's gonna tear it up. And that power move is over. And they know it. They can't let this come out, man. They cannot let it come out. That's why they're keeping everybody in suspense. But I hope y'all ain't goofies out there, man. I really hope you ain't no goofy. For real. For real. I hope you ain't being goofy. Not with your own mind. Now, and especially those that know what you saw. You know what you saw. You know what you felt. You know what you got in your phone. Or had in your phone. You know what I mean? You know. Don't let these people play with your mind. Because it's all a power game. They just gotta have some control. And just leaving you in suspense or conceptual arts or leading you down a cognitive dissonance route. That's how they keep that one up on you and keep their foot on your neck, man. You feel me? Like, they ask these questions. That wouldn't do it. Man, you know it's something out there, dude. You tweaking. You got to be the most self-righteous, pompous, you know what I'm saying, to think that you are the only race or species in all of this. Well, you tweaking. Like, even children know we're not the only ones, man. They go off what they're being taught, and that's why when you say something to a child, they give you that, huh? Because they had something else in their mind. Their own mind, their own thought, their own conception or perception of what the hell was going on. Until you said, no, and then taught them how to not go and look for the information. That's what goes on in indoctrination. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, don't let them play with y'all out there. Good people, don't let them play with you. You know you're not the only one. And it's balanced. So if there's some good, there's some bad. Be cautious as to who you're dealing with. And not every single human being that you think is human, because they're a humanoid, is actually human. Because that's going to get you caught up too. Man in Black,
estimated
check it
about
out.
14 feet high, classic flying saucer shape. It had like rows of lights along the perimeter. They were all told to examine this site and provide their assessment. And then they were told, like, you are to take an oath and you are never to talk about this again.
Unlike the crash at Roswell 6 years
Well,
ago,
that Freemason game, man.
military
Well, you better take that.
the
Oh,
Kingman
boy.
incident was so swift that it wasn't until years later that the world knew anything had occurred there. But how was an event of this apparent magnitude kept secret for so long?
Kingman, huh?
In my experience of government, there would need to be what we would call a standard operating procedure.
You don't have one.
It's claimed that one was drawn up for UFO crashes after Roswell. And it seems that this was used in 1953 in relation to the Kingman UFO crash.
An operations
You don't have one. You won't have one because this stuff is random.
As far-fetched as it sounds, UFO
Every situation will be able to be handled the same way, right?
not only exists, but was put in place to avoid the mistakes the U.S. military made trying to contain the earlier crash at Roswell in 1947.
SCP, we contain
And
it.
they claim that the authors of this handbook were members of a shadowy organization known as
Majestic 12. Woo! Boy, hold on. On everything. Boy, stop. That's huge. That is huge. You know them boys, we like to do them. that's shadow law. That's what they get. That's them boys. That's the 12. That's the little 12 on the seat. You know, if you've been with the channel, you already know what they call them boys out. You know what I'm saying? That's MJ12 all day. So we know who these guys are, and we know who these guys running with. You know how they get down. If you don't, you better get familiar. You know what I'm talking about? Get familiar. So, and those are the SCP universe. I know they know who they are, even if they got put on the cognitive dissonance route. Yeah, that be them guys right there. That's who you're dealing with. Some of them. That's some of who you're dealing with. Ooh, that's big.
MJ12 is
Thank you, Seth. So put me on it today.
to be a group of individuals who are essentially are controlling the UFO cover-up. There are many
Who that sound like? SCP Foundation, right? I mean, come on, Captain Mace, what we doing, right? Are we not in class? Are we not here to learn? Alright, so cross-reference. So you got to just turn the eye on, turn your ears on, listen, and first of all, you just got to get into some of this stuff. It may be boring, you may not believe, but just get some of it. So when things come out, it won't go so far in your head, you won't get caught out here. Because that's going to be half a lot of people's problems. They finna get caught out here because they either followed the narrative, just chose not to believe it, didn't want to believe it, or, us couldn't wait to see it and get back to it.
Documents that exist that say that MJ12 actually was a real government organization. Majestic 12 was signed into existence by President Harry Truman in September of 1947, shortly after the Roswell incident, when the U.S. government decided it needed to have a main central oversight committee that would handle the so-called alien.
Hey man, that boy Truman is ruthless. Wasn't he responsible for the nuclear bombs? Hold up.
Problem. Shortly after the Roswell incident, when the U.S. government decided it needed to have a main central oversight committee that would handle the so-called alien problem.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, homework. So I'm gonna go back and see exactly when the dates. So we need the chronography. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got to get the timeline. Because if it's Roswell, then Majestic 12, then Nagasaki, Hiroshima, then we know what just took place. They were given alien technology and they went over there and tested it. Like I said so many videos before, there was a test. They tested weapons on these people. It wasn't like they did anything wrong. No, they went over there and tested it on people to see what it was going to do. You know what I'm saying? And that was like a reenactment of Sodom and Gomorrah.
And it contained many prominent members, including the head of the CIA at the time, or what became the CIA.
Of all of the documents that I have ever received, most important to me is the Majestic 12, extraterrestrial entities and technology recovery and disposal. The document is about how you would take military units out into a field, gather extraterrestrial biological entities alive or dead, how you would get the craft, and it has top secret classification throughout.
Bonnybridge, Scotland. This small village lies about 30 miles east of the city of Edinburgh. On the surface, Bonnybridge seems to be merely a quaint rural community. But appearances can be deceiving, because even though the town has a population of less than 10,000 people, there are approximately 300 UFO sightings reported here every year. So many, in fact, that Bonnybridge has become known as the UFO capital of the United Kingdom.
Man, I should have went there.
According to locals, the sightings began in 1992.
How close is that to Portsmouth? That's where I was at.
January evening, way back in 1992, a local businessman, James Walker, claimed he saw this strange craft, this strange object in the sky. He was travelling between Bonnybridge and another town called Denny. It was around about 9 o'clock in the evening, and was shocked by this tremendous array of triangular lights, which was about 200 to 300 feet above the road. He knew straight away that this was not a conventional aircraft or a helicopter of any way, shape, or size. And after about probably 10-15 seconds, it just shot away and was gone.
James Walker describes having witnessed a strange set of lights that really caught his attention. And that seemed to be the spark for what was going to become a wave of sightings over the years.
Anybody?
In the past 30 years, there have been more than 6,000 UFO sightings over Bonnybridge.
Anybody?
Many of them have been reported to UFO sightings over Bonnybridge. Many of them have been reported to a local councilman named Billy Buchanan, who is concerned about what is causing the phenomenon.
Hey, boy. Hey, man, what the orc from the Lord of the Rings, yeah. Face that.
I'm a representative of the community, and there have been thousands that came to me over the past few years saying that they have been seeing things in the sky that weren't what you could say conventional aircraft. And I had to try and give them an answer, as I'm still trying and being unsuccessful.
For years, Billy Buchanan and other local officials have asked the British government to investigate the UFO reports over Bonnybridge. But curiously, their requests have been denied.
We're not inside.
The problem that I had was I remember speaking to a member of the Parliament and says, can you not bring up a question in Westminster and ask the question, what's happening above the skies over Bonnybridge? Because all we've had as answers is that the Ministry of Defence said that there is nothing happening above the skies in Bonnybridge that is a threat to national security. So that means that either everybody in this area is talking a lot of rubbish, or else they know exactly what's going on. But this MP refused to do it. He says it would be political suicide for me to do it.
Is the United Kingdom...
That's what I'm talking about, man. Yo, you foul, man. You foul, man. You just, bruh, that's... Oof.
Ministry of Defense trying to cover up the UFO sightings at Bonnybridge. Some researchers believe that it's a distinct possibility. And they further claim that Bonnybridge sits in the middle of an even larger Scottish UFO hotspot that is referred to as the Falkirk Triangle.
If you look at Glasgow, Edinburgh, and you go north in a kind of triangle, you'll get to a place known as the Falkirk Triangle.
Okay.
And when you look at the sightings, there's a lot of video and photographic evidence that's available of some of these, and they are quite interesting indeed.
Falkirk district has 160,000 people, maybe 170,000 people in the area. Over the years since these sightings have taken place, there have been many polls that have been done, and 60 to 70% have either saw something or believe that something's happening, which is incredible.
In recent years, some researchers have theorized that the British government dismisses all of these sightings in order to hide the truth, not just about extraterrestrial spacecraft, but also classified military technology.
There are some people who believe that some of this UFO activity, not necessarily all, but is attributable to secret prototype military aircraft from a particular remote Scottish...
Now that you know what I'm saying? That sound like a video I heard not too long ago. The dude he went over the ice wall with a jet that flew for 30 hours. Like, yeah, what are you in? You know what I'm saying? And they were saying it like the guy said it was like they was calling him out about it in the comment section. Like, dude, how could you fly a plane or a jet for that matter for 30 hours and you didn't run out of fuel? So, I mean, that's everybody's mind instantly trying to go cognitive dissonance and dismiss his story versus me when I'm listening to it. I'm thinking like, dude, what are you in? Just because he used the term jet don't mean it's a fucking earthly plane, bro. That's just logically what I'm thinking in my head. Like, so, but then when you're getting ridiculed, it's like 30 hours and you didn't run out of fuel and you're in a jet. Now, this thing is going fast regardless. So, boy, what, like you got the Tesla of jets? Like, what are you in? So with them saying something like this, yeah, I mean, it gives more credence to this than, you know what I'm saying, not.
Fish air base called Machrihanish.
For a number of years, it's claimed the Aurora aircraft, that large triangular-shaped secret reconnaissance aircraft, came into Machrihanish Airport because it's quite a long runway.
And them boys look like some arrowheads
the
for
local
real.
people are seeing objects in the sky similar to what we have here in Bonnybridge that do not conform to regular aircraft.
I've seen a lot of videos with that particular one on the right.
In the skies above Bonnybridge.
Could it be military?
I think I covered a couple
I mean,
of them.
that's one of the questions that's been posed for years. I'm no ufologist. I'm a wee counsellor for this place. But the fact is that although we've asked the question to everybody, what is it? There's nobody out there that's told us yet.
Man, listen. They told you, buddy. You them, academics, man. Y'all better tell these people to stop selling themselves short, man. You seen it in the skies. They seen it in the skies. There's over 100 and something plus thousand people over there that's viewing something in their skies, right? So if they don't want to come out and tell you, don't play the loop-de-loop. I think I did in your head. You know what you saw. Look for it again. If you remain genuine in your heart, you may even find more information. It may even come out and do a loop-de-loop dance for you out there, just so you know that yes, they see you, they're thinking about you, they can hear your thoughts, and they came out just to let you know that you weren't crazy and no, they weren't gonna tell you. All right, so. We gonna get to some more of this because I'm loving it. Now we see who's involved. Yeah, I mean, we got the SCP Foundation MJ12 in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Who knew? Yeah, shout out. Damn, boy, you know what I mean? I ain't even calling y'all out today. You feel me? I was gonna leave you alone. You popped up anyway, so it ain't my fault. You know what I mean? I'm trying to leave you alone, man. I'm just finna go ahead and check it out. They said it was leak classified. I ain't leak it. I just won't talk about it. Feel me? So that's what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? So and then we gonna bring more of it. Little daddy back there. I got little daddy back there with me today. Yeah. Okay, make sure y'all be good out there, you know what I mean? See? Don't forget to keep yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally protected. Do not let the world drive you crazy. Keep your eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Head on the swivel. For real. You know what I mean? And do some research. Keep digging. You know what I'm saying? Do it with a pure heart though. Just wanna know for you. Everybody ain't gonna believe you. Don't expect them to, but do it for you and the one and your loved ones, man. And y'all take care of yourselves and keep your eyes on them babies for real. Hey.